What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and I want to apologize to you guys because I haven't made any videos for a while, but that's because we just haven't had anything to really talk about. Netmarble has been slacking tremendously on our sneak peeks. I mean, it's been over 2 weeks. A couple days ago, they ended up putting out a sneak peek for Ancient One that actually kind of pissed me off. I mean, they put that thing out, and I was like, why are you putting this out? We already have the character. We already have her tier 3. Why aren't you putting out a different sneak peek? It really felt like a slap in the face. I didn't want to make a video about it because I really didn't want to rant because I know that they put out a dev note a while back letting us know that they're going to be bringing in some new GBR, some new War Boss Legends. And because of that, I'm just kind of holding off on any kind of ranting because that's sorely what this game needs. It needs that way more than characters. The only time a character is really going to make a big difference, which hasn't happened in some time, is if they are a meta changer. If they're just godly and ridiculous, and we did have some characters recently with Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch who are extremely strong. The problem is with certain restrictions, you just can't use them, especially Scarlet Witch, right? But she ended up being an AVX meta, which is still pretty damn awesome. However, in the most recent update, we ended up getting Mordo and Ancient One, which, Ancient One ended up being a really good support. Mordo ends up being a decent character, but, because he's competing against all these other speed metas, a lot of people just weren't going to level him up. And then they also gave, transcending skills to, characters like Caecilius and Clea who aren't worth a crap. So it's been pretty lackluster here lately in Marvel Future Fight, which is something that I was hoping they could rectify. And then they put out this sneak peek today, which is quite interesting to say the least, guys. I mean, this is pretty surprising what they've done here. But yeah, okay. We'll talk about what we just saw there. All right. Iron Man. Iron Man. Iron Man. Now, before we get into talking about Iron Man and what my opinion on that and how I feel about that, I want to kind of back up a little bit because there's something that's been pointed out to me and, by other players. Let me kind of back up a little bit. Right here. So some people think because this has 4 marks on it, some people think this is a T-4. They think this is tier 4 is what they think this is. Right? So I'm going to kind of scroll around a little bit here and blow it up. Now, I don't see any T anywhere. I could be mistaken. Maybe it's somewhere in here, but I'm not seeing it. But I just don't see tier anywhere in this picture. Not even when there's an explosion. There's nothing. And I honestly don't think they're going to be bringing in tier 4s right now. I mean, it's always a possibility, right? It's always a possibility. I could be wrong, but I really don't think they're going to do it. I don't really think we need to have a tier 4 yet. Although, I mean, I guess there's an argument as far as maybe trying to do, as far as maybe trying to push World Boss even more, because most people on Ultron, even at high level accounts, they're only getting, I'm at stage 30 against Ultron and just can't go no higher, just can't do any damage. Whenever you get to Null past stage 60, Mephisto state past stage 60, it gets extremely, extremely hard. I know that's not for every player, but for those of us that try to push World Boss, it gets very, very difficult. But Iron Man, now, here's the thing about this is, Iron Man is easily one of the most beloved characters out there. Easily, right? Especially after the snap and after everything that happened in Endgame. His popularity grew tremendously over the MCU and through the movies. And, but I honestly, when I saw this, I was like, yeah, it's Iron Man. I love him. I've made tons and tons of videos on the guy. But it's like there are so many other characters that really could have used a uniform, like some of the transcendent characters that we just got that don't have a uniform, or some other character, right? There's other characters that's never got any love or any shine. And this guy's gotten quite a few. And if you scroll down, guys, and you take a look at some of these comments, I mean, there are relatively positive because people do love them. But I mean, there's also people that just like, like, why would we have this uniform? Why do we need it? Because I mean, Iron Man already has gotten a lot of shine, right? He's gotten a lot of shine with this uniform right here, right? With the superior Iron Man suit. This is a good uniform, I mean, this is no slouch. It plays pretty well with the proc. Obviously, it's a little bit better with the rage, the way his tier 3 is set up. But it's a good uniform, and it's a villain blast, which is pretty useful in World Boss Legend. But, all I can say is I hope the next uniform has some kind of like this here. If this was higher than 30% HP, that would be just nuts. Like, if he had an increased basic damage dealt to enemies by 200% at all times, that would be nuts instead of above just 30% HP. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, obviously going to want the best for him, but I mean, look at the amount of uniforms this guy's got. And this, and I've talked about this before, how Netmarble always likes to milk our favorite characters. They just milk them and milk them. And this was a really good uniform. I didn't really feel like this uniform milked us. I felt like it was really well worth buying. A very solid uniform, a very good uniform, but it did kind of fall off as far as damage compared to other uniforms because he only gets that increased damage by 200% when the opponent's HP is at 30% HP, right? So you didn't always have that huge damage bump. But I mean, Iron Man's a solid character. The thing that I can hope for most for this guy is that they change his tier 3. Get rid of this damn thing because it is just his tier 3 is just it's so wacky because it misses a lot of times. The targeting is off on it really bad, and it's very difficult to use this tier 3 with a proc. I mean, that's kind of the thing that sucks about it. Whereas, running through his skills is actually pretty easy. It's just 5-3-4, and you can easily run through your skills. But his tier 3, I mean, this thing has this big old delay, and it misses his targets because it just shoots in front of him. It doesn't have very much AoE at all. In fact, the AoE on this thing is terrible, right? He just shoots in front of them. And when you're playing with him, you're trying to get the damage proc with that and his skills all involved at the same time because he has damage accumulation on his tier 3. That is something else they could change about the character is they could take this damage accumulation and they could actually put it on his skills, and then if they change his tier 3, give him something else like increased attack or whatever, or what may have you. I mean, they could do a lot for the character. It's kind of weird, right? It's weird to love a character and to want them to get boosted up and to want to be as strong as possible. But when you have a character like this who's had multiple uniforms, and then you have a lot of other characters in the game that just never got anything. I mean, there's characters in this game that haven't got anything. And yeah, we don't play with them. We don't get to use them because a lot of them don't have a tier 3 available, don't have transcendent skill available. And yeah, it's just weird that they're going this route. But I mean, they're doing it obviously because of the popularity of the character. Right? That's why they're doing it. That's what Netmarble does a lot of times. I just hope that however strong this uniform is, I hope it's like very strong. I mean, honestly, I say it all the time, guys. I mean, I realize not every character needs to be meta, but we really are getting to a point in this game where, players are only reaching so far against World Boss Legend as far as PvE is concerned. That's something else. They can make his next uniform a PvP uniform. They could absolutely make it a PvP uniform, which they have done quite a bit lately. We have been getting quite a few PvP uniforms. PvP's been a little bit more balanced. AC's been getting a lot more characters. So if you're interested in that, that's really been a nice thing for a lot of you guys out there. So they could give him a PvP uniform, which I'll be straight up with you guys. If that happens, I'll think it's cool if he comes in there in PvP and starts whooping the crap out of everybody. I will. I'll think it's pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. But it'll be one of those things where it'll be like one and done, forget about, because when it comes to PvP, at least for me, I just put in timeline, let it go on auto, and I don't really pay attention to it. Whereas when PvE and World Boss Legend, I actually prefer to play it. So guys, let me know what you think about, Iron Man getting a new uniform. Do you think he's actually going to get a tier 4 or not? And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody.